memoriamcards.ie. I guess if you're here and you're visiting our website, you're here for a good reason, and that is that you've lost somebody near and dear. So before I say anything else, I give you my condolences. I don't know whether it's someone close or someone in the extended family or a friend, but either way, it's always very difficult to lose somebody. So I hope you're getting through it. And so just very quickly, I'll get straight to it. This is our homepage. Very simple. We have a sample slideshow there, and then we have at the very top the products. Now we have a range of products in different styles, but they're all of equal quality. Just the work involved for us is different for some of them. Now the standard cards, which I'm clicking on now, these are completely customized and they're done to order. I'm just going through a few of the samples here. These are the front and backs, as you can see, front and backs. And basically it involves two photographs of the deceased and a background or two of choice. It could be a local scene, a church, your home, anything, and verses of choice. So it's a completely customized card, and it's done in consultation. As you can see here, we try to keep the feeling that they're very soft, very personal. They can be religious, non-religious, depends. Some people prefer a very religious card, some people prefer something more secular. It doesn't matter, whatever is your choice, we'll try and accommodate it. So the standard cards are probably our most popular range. They're middle of the range price-wise. And then we have the diamond cards. The diamond cards are more complicated cards. Often, they're often for young people who might have died unexpectedly or before their time. These things happen, as we know, and people like to remember them with something very unique. But also older people, it depends often on what material is available. Some people like to take photographs, so often they have a huge amount of photographs of the beloved one when they've passed away. Other people have great difficulty because maybe it's just not in the culture of the family to be taking photographs. But I'll just go through these insights here. Some of these are models, others are actual people that we have permission from the family to use the photographs. So we only do that with permission. So as you can see here on this inside, we have on the left side picture of the deceased, a background scene, and then a collage, what we call a life collage, which gives an idea of the person's span of years or what their different stages of life. Likewise here, this is a natural sample and we're allowed to use this by the family. So this man loved his farm, loved his horses. So on the front we have the cross with his portrait and a background scene of his local area, and on the back we have a collage of photographs showing him throughout his life and showing his hobby, his love of horses. Again, the same man. On the inside we have his details, and again, since he had a farm, we've included that as well. Makes it very personal for the family and something that cheers someone to see it rather than reminding them that the person has passed away. Again, this lady, this inside, the family wanted a collage, so you get a very good idea of the person's general lifespan, I suppose, and it just reminds that the person has lived a good and long life, and they're not defined by having passed away. Again, as you can see, this young lad, again, our thanks to the Lowe family for allowing us to use Aaron's card. Pretty happy young boy and loved by his family. So you see, we tried to make it a very happy card to remind them of their loved one. Again, similar, these are collages, so they're a lot of work for us, so they're more expensive, but if people want it, they're willing to pay for it because it reminds them of the person in a good way. So that's our diamond range. A lot more work for us, but a good result for the family. Hopefully people like them very much. So then we move on to we come to our bookmarks. Again, these are very straightforward. The standard bookmark allows for two pictures of the deceased, two backgrounds of choice, and verses of choice. So they're quite straightforward. As you can see, quite simple, front and back, verses and details of choice. And their size approximately is 155 millimeters by 55 millimeters, and they're laminated and durable. Then we come again to our diamond bookmarks, a more complicated bookmark like the diamond memorial card. We allow for a collage of the deceased, and this again involves a bit more work for us, and also a little bit more work for the client, because they have to gather and choose photographs. But often that's a very therapeutic process to get familiar with the photographs and find it something they feel enabled, so that they're doing something nice for the deceased. So it can be a good process for everybody involved. Again, these are samples, permission of the family, and we can get a really nice result, especially when the photographs are of good quality. You can get a thing of beauty, and people find great comfort in that, especially when they get very positive feedback from people when they receive them. It makes them feel that they've done something nice. Okay, these can be slightly larger too. And that's our diamond bookmark. They can be about 195 millimeters in and by 55 in length, so they're slightly bigger to accommodate the number of photographs, but they can be the same size as the standard. It's entirely a matter of taste. Then we come to the wallet cards. The wallet cards again are simple enough or complicated depending, but they are a very personal thing. They're usually for immediate family, friends, people who are close to your deceased or loved one, and people keep them in their wallets or on their person as a keepsake, and so that they're there for them to take out. And it can be as simple or as complicated as needed. The only thing I would say is the verses tend to be or have to be short because of the limited space. So, but again, they can be done very beautifully and sympathetically. And then acknowledgement cards. Acknowledgement cards, people often get a little confused. They're the same really as thank you cards, and they often go out with the cards or on their own to people, maybe the wider general people who would have known you, the person who's passed away, who wouldn't really want to keep a keepsake, but you want to acknowledge that they maybe attended the funeral or gave their sympathies. So it's not a keepsake as such. It's I suppose disposable is the wrong word, but they tend not to be laminated or kept for the long term. But they can be very simple. These are a few fronts here. They can say thank you or in grateful appreciation, whatever suits. They can be religious, or they can be secular, as in maybe just a scene like this one with a cross. Some people prefer religious content. I suppose I have a lot of religious content in this area, but not to worry. Or just a scene as this one. If the person passed away in a particular season of the year, you can remember it that way by having the season on the card, autumn or summer, or there's endless possibilities really. Again, more religious cards. A very simple black and white. Some people like less rather than more, so we accommodate that too. And then we also do the A5 letters, which are A5 personalised note paper, and you can write a note on this. And it comes in envelopes, of course, as do all the products. And again, it's designed to choice, and as you can see, there's a space here to sign, and some people like a little space here just to write a note. Very personal. Okay, that's our the more traditional type of card. We have tried to accommodate the need for religious sentiment, still very important, and so we've tried to cover as much as possible in terms of what the devotions are, and I suppose what are popular saints and devotions, religious themes or places. Again, we have a big variety. I won't go through them all, there's quite a few. So hopefully there's something there that would satisfy. Our economy range now, this is probably our largest range in terms of variety. There's no difference in the quality or the finish than the other diamond or standard range, except that these are pre-designed. So basically, it's a template, and you put in a picture of your deceased and change the details and verses. The rest remains the same. So these are sort of ready-made. So there's not a lot of design for us in these because they're already done, and you're just inserting a picture rather than doing something from scratch. And consequently, we can offer it at like a discount or it's less pricey. But again, I emphasize there's no difference in quality. There's still a very good quality laminate and print. So we covered most themes here. So it can be landscape or religious or secular. Have the verses. We have a 2-line, 4-line, 8-line long verses, and then we have a limited number of verses for the economy because again we want to minimize the amount of design time. So there's a great range of verses there. You just click on, you can get to where you want. But that's basically an overview of the site. We go back to the home page here and just see 3 other panels. Planning a card. People often are a bit intimidated by having to plan a card because they might have experience of being in a printer's or be familiar with printing terms or how to go about it. So I've tried to give a little overview. If you read here, it should help you come to grips with what's involved. Again, I always say to people not to worry at the initial stage about getting it right, because once I get the material, or we get the material here, and we produce a proof, it's much easier to move it forward. And we're used to dealing with people who don't have experience with printers, so don't worry about that or getting things right first time. That's all part of our job to help you through that. Also here we have an ordering system for samples. So if you want a sample pack in the post, you can fill out this here, which basically your details, your postal address, phone number and email important, and you can customize the pack with what products you actually want, and maybe give an overview here of what you're looking for or some details on the deceased if that's pertinent. And then there's just a little verification code. Don't worry about that. That's just to make sure, as they say, you're human. And maybe this is cheeky. I don't know. It does cost us a lot to produce these packs. So we're just asking if you could see towards paying for the postage. We'd be very happy with that as a gesture of goodwill. If not, no, we don't mind. But it's there anyway. So back to the home page and the third panel here. Request to call back. Often people maybe just have a particular time they want to be called, or they've called and didn't cover all areas they want to cover, but you can request a call back, which means we'll call you at a designated time. And just here we have a price list, so our prices are all here very clearly. Just the headers and the price lists are there. So you just click on header and there's the price list. These are quantities or guidelines. We do any quantity, but we've broken it into increments of 25, 50, 75, 100, just to give you a good idea. And you can contact us again at the contact page. And there's a number at the top. It has the international prefix, but if you're calling from Ireland, it's just 096 73946. But if you're calling from outside Ireland, it's 00353 9673946.